There we go.
How's everybody doing? I am so glad to be back, and I'm so glad to see you. And Brent, I'm not talking about you, buddy, because I see you plenty, okay, and I talk to you plenty.
Yeah.
But it's so good to see everybody, and I got to tell you, I really have missed you. Yep, I missed you. So let's do this. Let's do just a little housekeeping first. If you're new to the live stream, you know that this is kind of like happy hour. We try to make it like a happy hour, and we have the happy hour specials. And Brent's going to tell you all about the happy hour special today. But again, welcome back, everybody. Good to see you. So, Brent, what do we got, buddy?
Happy hour special?
Yeah.
Okay, so this, again, first and foremost, love seeing you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, because it has been a little while since we did our little happy hour live stream. So I'm so grateful that we're back. It's a new year. It's been a very unique last year, but it's been an amazing year for myself in many different ways. And whether that's newly becoming a father, as well as just hitting 100,000 followers on YouTube and TikTok. It's been crazy. It's been long. It's a journey, but I'm so grateful that I have Leah, you in my life as well.
Congratulations, my friend, on 100,000 subs on YouTube. Way to go.
Exactly. I know. Amazing. Thank you so much for the support. Not only Leah, but everyone else that has come over to the BYOT platform, because it's truly an honor to be a part of this community, as well as helping others learn how to build and create, because that's my true passion in life now.
Okay. I hear you, my friend.
But anyways, let's get back to actual prizes, because today's happy hour special it's a welder. It is actually an easy Flux welder, and Leah is so generous to actually provide this for our happy hour special at the end of today. So at the end of this live stream, we're going to have actually a little bit different of a version of happy hour special, because you have to be here at the tail end of the live stream to be a part of it. So we're going to have a 5-minute shot clock in order to provide some type of comment in the comments down below. And within those 5 minutes, some lucky winner is going to win that welder.
So we're going to do a last call, 5 minutes to go.
Yep.
And people need to do what? Just comment. If they say where they're from, that's good enough. They don't have to ask a question, correct? They just have to have a comment.
Exactly. Any type of comment, whether that's a hashtag, a question, or just saying hi.
And you're going to do you're going to randomly select from the comments.
That's right.
And do you have to be present?
That is correct.
You have to be present. So folks, you have to stay on the live stream. You can't, be on the live stream for a few minutes and then get off. And then if your name gets pulled from the comments, you won't be able to claim it. So
we just want to make sure someone's here to actually claim the prize.
Okay. All right. So I'm clear on it, and I'm sure everybody else is clear as well. All right. So why don't we start off by asking where people are from? Where are you tuning in from?
Yeah, that's what I want to see. We have so many comments. It's amazing to see all this.
There's Rob. He's from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Who else do we have here? Okay, Oklahoma. I'm guessing Oklahoma.
Oklahoma City.
Okay, we've got Freddie. Hey, Freddie. Freddie's in from Memphis, Tennessee.
We got Texas. We were just talking about Texas.
Okay. What do we have here? Northeast Ohio. I gotta say, go Browns. I gotta say that. They're looking
the real
good
question
this
is,
year.
are they going to make the playoffs? That's going to be
Hey, listen, no, they're looking good this year. Isn't that right, Dan? All right. Who else do we have? Oh, Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
We've got Haley from California.
Oh, we got Seattle. We got to say hi to
Seattle. Hey, Patty
from Seattle.
Okay, we're just going to take a few more here. And who do we have? From West Virginia and Arizona. Okay. Hey, Lisa. Let's take a couple more, Brent.
Okay, there you go. We got a little Silver Springs.
Okay. And we've got Jerry from North Carolina. Wait a second. We've got to get representation outside of the country here. We got to do that.
Of
So
course.
we've got Shay from Toronto, Canada. I love that city. Have you been there, Brent?
No, but it's definitely a city I want to go to for sure. I've been to Vancouver plenty of times, but not Toronto as of yet.
Oh, wait, somebody just got married. Ashley. Congratulations.
Woo!
She just got married. That's good.
That's amazing.
Okay, one more.
Queens. There you go.
Hey, Celia, how you doing? Let's get one more out of the country. Let's see what we can find out of the country.
Well,
Brent,
before that, we do have to say a big hello to the Big Island since I'm from the Big Island. So,
okay.
I had to say hello to them.
Hey, Catherine. Hi, Catherine. Okay, Brent, you got to find somebody from outside of the country.
Oh, you're going to put this on me? Okay. Let's see if I can find anyone, because normally we do have a few people from outside the country, although I do not see anyone as of right now.
Got so many people on. It's a lot to go through.
There are a lot of comments right now.
Well, we got Ontario. Hi. Wait a second. Here we go. Ontario. Okay. Canada, my friend. Okay. So again, folks, listen, you're going to definitely want to chime in. Let me get that off the screen there. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start taking people's questions. And I want to introduce somebody really special here. His name is Mitch Couch. He's on TikTok and he's got a heck of a following. And he's been on the Martha Stewart show recently, Brent. I think he was on maybe just a couple months ago. So he's a big heavyweight.
It's amazing. Absolutely incredible.
I'm so glad that we're friends too. I'm so glad that Mitch and I are friends. What I want to say is this, folks. Listen, we're going to start taking questions. I'm going to bring Mitch in to the live stream here, but first, I just want to make certain that you understand. We're taking questions about home improvement and woodworking. And I got to tell you, I'm just so happy to be able to help others, because during this time, a lot of folks have lost their jobs. They find themselves having to make their own home repairs. And Brent, myself, and Mitch want to do whatever we can to help you. So if you have a question, just make certain that you do #question in the comments. That way we'll be able to distinguish questions between just, talk in the room. So #a question and then ask your question and I'll be able to see it. So why don't we bring Mitch on and introduce him to everybody. Hey, Mitch.
There he is.
Hey.
So good to join us, Mitch.
I am so happy to be here. This is awesome. You guys are great.
So, Mitch, let me ask you a couple questions before we start taking questions from the audience. And not only that, but folks, you want to get your questions in. Remember, #a question, and we'll pull a question from the questions on the sidebar. But Mitch, so tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey in home improvement and how you got started.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. It started actually when I was a teenager. My parents decided to buy apartments growing up as an investment. So spent a lot of days after school, weekends and summers working on apartments, from changing faucets, drywall repair, painting, carpet cleaning, landscaping, roofing, everything you can think of. I was doing it at a young age. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to learn many trades at the same time.
Yes. The only thing is you run into the jack of all trades, but master of none. So I had to try to stay away from that. Try to master the trades. That's the one thing.
Yep.
Now you have done finished carpentry. You're a finished carpenter as well, right?
Yep. Did carpentry. Moved to Oregon, up near Portland, Oregon, years and years ago, almost 2 decades ago, and became a contractor up there. So I did everything and anything, from flipping houses, painting apartments, oh my gosh, handyman work, worked on huge sky rises downtown to just little places out in the country. Anything you can think of, I did it. So,
okay. Yep. And I just got to ask you this. So you met Martha Stewart.
I did.
Okay.
Oh
What
my
was the
God.
experience like? What was that experience like?
Well, so I get this random message on my Instagram, and it says, "Hey, Mitchell, we love your TikTok videos and everything. We would want to know if you'd like to be on a TV show with a DIY guru, and we won't tell you who it is, but would you like to be on TV with them?" It only took me 3 seconds to say yes. Like, what do you do? Let me get back to you. I don't think so. So I'm like,
Let me check
yeah,
my
let's do
schedule.
this. Yeah. So they didn't even say if it was going to be HD TV or anything like that. And then, so the way the show was going to work was a lot different than the way the show came out, because 2 weeks later, COVID hit, quarantines hit, everything. And I remember them rewriting the show, constantly being in contact with all the producers and everything like that. And again, I still didn't know who it was. It was supposed to be a surprise. So get up early one morning, 6 a.m., go out, set up the tripod, all the cameras and everything out my front yard. And all of a sudden, this call comes in, I answer it, and it's a guy named Ryan. And I don't know who Ryan is. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, it's somebody they want to try to get into the DIY TV shows. So this is like their breakthrough. And he's talking to me. He's a gardener.
Okay.
And all of a sudden he says, "Hey, would you like to talk to my boss?" Takes the camera over, and there's Martha Stewart. And I kind of lost it a little bit. So I'm like, this is the ultimate Martha Stewart. So
That is
let's just say,
amazing.
thank goodness for editing, right? Because they had to edit out so much of the squealing.
All the crying.
I mean, I'm like, Martha Stewart. And I remember my neighbor came out across the street, and he's going to go on a bike ride early in the morning, and he's looking over and he's probably thinking, what's wrong with my neighbor? He's sitting there with a tripod in the front yard, and he's kind of squealing, freaking out, and everything like that. So finally, I just calmed down a little bit. And I remember the producers are like telling me before I go on, "Mitch, we brought you on the show because we love your energy. We love everything. Don't forget to just be who you are." And then that's when I went into it, did the taping. And I've been on TV a couple of times. And let me tell you something. They do taping, and then all of a sudden you don't hear from anybody. That's it. You're done. See ya. I mean, all of a sudden, and then once in a while you get a message. "Hey, can you send in some B-roll," which is more camera footage and stuff like that. And then they aired the show. Well, I didn't even know when the show was going to air. Sorry, I'm taking up so much of your guys' time, but
No.
a friend tagged me on Facebook and said, "Mitchell, you have some explain to do." They used me for the premiere, the commercial for the premiere. And then I'm like, "Where'd you see this?" So I'm searching, and it was going to be on HDTV. And then I see it. And again, thank goodness for editing. They edited out all the stupid stuff, all the great, you know what I mean? But it was just great. I'm telling you right now, I was on there. I think the episode with me was about 5 minutes. I was on TV with her, maybe filming for 30 minutes. And I got to tell you, she's a genuine, amazing person. I mean, just amazing. The knowledge she has about gardening and everything was just wonderful. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. The only thing I didn't like was that somebody wrote a review about the show later, and they mentioned me as a commoner. Like, Martha really
What?
doesn't care about it. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. What is
Like,
That's
commoner.
excuse me, you don't know who we are. And
That's-
Martha Stewart is awesome. So
Well, man,
It
I'm
was
glad you
great.
had that experience. I'm really glad that you had that experience.
yeah, it was awesome.
Now, folks, if you're just joining the live stream, I want to remind you that the happy hour special is going to be a welder that's going to be given away at the end of the live stream, but you have to comment. You can just say where you're from. You can say howdy, whatever you want to do, but you have to comment to be entered in the random drawing that Brent is going to conduct at the end. The next thing I want to say, because we're getting ready to go to questions, if you have a question for us, just hashtag question so that we can distinguish between the questions and just talk in the room. And then last I want to say is we're not going to be on long tonight. We're going to run it to about 6 o'clock, and that's going to be it. So we got 45 minutes for you guys to get your questions in and to also get just recognized for the happy hour special. Plus, Brent is going to do last call 5 minutes before, we go to pulling a winner. So there are a lot of questions. A lot of questions came in. If I skip your question, ask it again, because it's possible that I just missed it, everybody. So here we go. Let's start off with Christina. She says, when tiling a kitchen backsplash with ceramic subway tile, which is better, mortar, adhesive, or one of the tile mats? And I've got experience with all of those, but hey, why don't we throw the question to, hey, Mitch, want to throw it to your way?
Okay. I've got two of the best DIYers here. So I'm a little nervous to say the answer in front of them. I love mortar when it comes to backsplash. Okay. You got to be careful when you do the backsplash. Did she say ceramic? Is it glass? Glass is really, really popular right now. So if it's glass, I always use the white backing, the mortar. I find that it's a little stickier. I love what you got to do is when I'm using the mortar, when I'm using thin set, let's just call it thin set, right? Run your tape across the top, exactly just a little bit right below where the tile comes up. Put it on thin. Now you got to understand, you're not going to get a lot of people aren't going to be messing with it as much, right? It's not like it's going on the wall in the shower or anything like that. So I run thin set, run a light coat right there. Make sure all your tile is ready and cut out. That's what I do. And then I put it up, let it dry a good 24 hours before I grout it. Adding tile to a backsplash is just beautiful, and it can just upgrade your kitchen. People love it, and it's definitely a wonderful DIY, especially if it's your first DIY. Don't be hesitant to try it. You can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it just adds so much beauty to a space. And yeah, it's a bit time consuming. It's definitely more time consuming than a painted wall, but it adds such an amazing value to any space, especially if you're talking about backsplashes.
Okay, our next question comes from Lawrence. He's talking about how hard is it to make a ticking stick? What do you think, Brent?
Well, since I made a ticking stick thanks to Leah's video, it is very, very simple. It's surprisingly simple because all it is literally a oddly shaped piece of wood. And as long as you have a unique shaped piece of wood, then you can make a ticking stick out of it. And luckily, I certainly didn't know what it was until I actually used it to create a dog bed for my truck, of course, because it was a very odd shape, and therefore I needed a ticking stick in order to help me provide the exact dimension that I needed for this very odd shape. So it is quite easy, and thank you, Leah, for bringing it up for me.
Okay, Freddie wants to know, Leah, how'd you get into the trades? And folks, I would encourage you to ask personal questions. That's good. They don't have to be about how do I fix this, or I'm working on a project that's got me stumped. If you have personal questions for Mitch or for Brent, I'm sure they'll, as long as they're not too personal. Okay?
I'm an open book, Leah.
I'd be glad to answer them. Well, here's the thing, Freddie. I was actually an aerospace major in college. I thought I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to go to Annapolis and apply to the flight program there. And so I was an aerospace major. But you know what? I realized very, very quickly that I really enjoyed working with my hands. Not only that, during that time, they weren't accepting women to the flight program because, well, it was considered combat. So even though I was pursuing a career in college in aerospace and I had flown, small private planes, I just realized really quickly that I wanted to be more involved in the trades. I had used the trades to pay my way through college. My father was involved in the trades, and a lot of folks that get their start in plumbing or electrical or become carpenters, it's because somebody in their family had done it before them. So it was a real easy transition for me, since I had helped my dad many, many, many times on projects. And then I just decided to to go in that direction. So that's how I got my start, and it's been a labor of love ever since.
Right. Well, here I got a question for Mitch. Actually, I found one, and I might as well have you answer this one because I think everyone would be interested to know what brought you to TikTok.
What brought me to TikTok? Well, actually, just 4 days ago was my 1-year anniversary.
Wow.
And I remember what happened was my daughter was obsessed with TikTok, and I didn't know what it was. And she kept showing me videos on it. And I asked her, I said, hey, is that something I could put videos on? And she's like, no, Dad, it's for teenagers. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So then she came back and she's like, hey, you could do your home improvement stuff on there. But the videos were only a minute long at the most. And I thought, well, what could I do in a minute? So maybe we could break it down. So I got on there, downloaded the app, actually downloaded on Christmas Day last year, and started making some DIY videos, showing some repairs. Now, here's the thing. Anytime you start off, it's not going to do much, okay? But I did a video on how to fix a door hinge. And all of a sudden, it just went crazy. And before I know it, it had 3.5 million views. And all my followers started going up. I started doing more DIY videos. And then all of a sudden, TikTok contacted me and said, hey, we like your videos. Would you like to be a part of our creator fund? I mean, a creator team. I was like, yes, of course. And then TikTok said, can we use you for a commercial? We'd like to fly you down to LA and put you on a commercial. And I was like, yes, that's fine too. And then COVID hit. I know I've said that before. So all of that stopped. Nothing was shooting videos, but I started gaining followers, just started shooting videos and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, some media started reaching out, other websites, BuzzFeed, all those other kind of channels and everything like that just started showing some of the stuff I made. And it just kind of ballooned from there. It was really awesome. It's been a great journey and I love it.
Hey, what are you at follower-wise? Why don't you tell everyone?
Let's see, 526,000 now, I believe.
Amazing.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That is amazing. And folks, I want to encourage you to check out Mitch's channel on YouTube and TikTok. It's Goodly Earth.
Yes, Goodly Earth on TikTok, but it's just Mitch Couch on YouTube. Somebody grabbed Goodly Earth so on YouTube. So that's not me there. I don't even think they're doing anything with it. Yeah, I kind of noticed when the name Goodly Earth started getting a little popular, people started grabbing it on other platforms. They're not doing anything with it. I don't know if they want me to contact them, but that's okay.
Pay you for that domain.
Yeah, how about $10,000 for this name? I'm like, no.
Okay, folks, let's take another question here. And again, I've got to encourage people to hashtag questions so we can find your question amongst the comments. And so this one has to do with plumbing. I would like to replace an old sink, small left side with trash drain, right side, regular drain. I guess you're having trouble. How much trouble would it be to remove the disposal to the center and place one large sink? It's not that hard. It's actually really easy. Who would like to take this one?
I can, but as in like he wants to completely remove the old sink and install a brand new sink.
He wants to put in a new sink, and it's just a single instead of a double.
Yeah, and trust me, it's one of those things where you don't realize how much better it is until you actually have a huge, large single sink. You know, it's one of those things where my parents had the old double sink. It was big. You know, you have the dishes here that's soaking, and then you have the drain spot. It seemed like a good idea, but then once you actually have one single sink, it's a game changer, and it's so much better, which I personally enjoy at least. And in all honesty, as far as installation purposes, it's pretty easy to get that removed as well as reinstall a new one, especially if it's over mounted. If it's under mounted, it's going to be obviously a little bit more work, but it's definitely doable for sure.
Okay. All right. We're moving on. So Sturwood too wants to know why I abandoned YouTube. Well, here's the thing. I didn't abandon YouTube. As many of you know, my family has gone through a very, very difficult period these last few months. And what I realized was what people don't realize is YouTube, it takes days and sometimes weeks to produce one video. And I wanted to remain, I wanted to continue to make content and provide content for folks. And TikTok gave me an opportunity to do that because the videos only take a matter of hours, sometimes just an hour to produce. And believe it or not, it can be done just from your phone. And so I didn't have to go into the studio. I didn't have to set up lights. I didn't have to bring in the cameraman and all like that. It allowed me to stay in contact with folks, but it just didn't take a lot of my time because I just didn't have time to dedicate, days and weeks to uploading one film. But now we're back on schedule, and I hope to start uploading videos to YouTube very, very soon, within the next couple of weeks. Now, it's going to be unsteady at first because we're involved in a move as well. We're going to be moving out of the state of Washington and heading south. And so you're going to have to be patient and just give me a little time to get back on schedule with seejanedrill. But no, I didn't leave seejanedrill for TikTok, even though it may appear that way. So let's go on to another question. Let's see here. I haven't had an opportunity to go through all the questions. Brent, are you seeing anything?
Why don't you take a look?
Well, here's one that you could possibly answer, Brent. It has to re-risen work. Can fiberglass be used for an uneven surface on the underside of a wood slab? And since you do that work all the time, Brent, maybe
can fiberglass be used for an uneven? Sorry, can you bring that up one more time?
I'm sorry.
For an uneven surface on the underside of a wood slab. Yes, it definitely can be, but I don't quite know how it's going to help an uneven surface. Obviously, I don't quite know the actual situation, but obviously with resin, with work, with fiberglass, it definitely is compatible. I just don't know how it's going to fix your uneven surface on the underside. If you can give us a little bit more information on that wood slab, but I would definitely be interested in learning a little bit more about it.
Okay. Brent, is there any way for you to click off of that question?
I wasn't on it. Let me see.
Okay, that's my apologies. Folks, we're just trying to, I can do it. We're just trying to get back into the swing of things. If you're just joining the live stream, I want to remind folks that they have to comment. You can just say hi in the comments. You can tell me where you're from. You can ask a question, #question, to get in the to be able to get into the a drawing for the welder. Okay.
Here, I have a fun question for you, Leah.
Uh-oh.
Here's a good one. I'm drowning in sawdust. I just periodically walk through with a leaf blower to clear out. What's the cheapest next step up for me for first collection, as in dust collection?
Well, I mean, the next cheapest step up is, a shop vac. That's the next cheapest step up. But you can use a shop vac in combination with a 5-gallon bucket and create your own dust collection system. It's really quick and easy to do. It's simple. I haven't done that video yet, but you know what? I just might. And you can easily find it on YouTube. Again, you just take a plastic 5-gallon bucket in combination with a shop vac, and you would be amazed at how effective that can be. So you can get started with a dust collection system for as little as like $15 once you buy everything that you need. So that is what I would suggest.
Well, yeah, in all honesty, I actually purchased one of those systems very recently, Leah, which is funny you even bring that up because
really?
Yeah, it's a 5-gallon bucket. You can get the top attachment at any Home Depot, put it on top of a 5-gallon bucket, and it actually has a pipe that's connected to that alongside, and it actually comes down and connects into your shop vac. And then you still have the ability to have all the suction, but all the larger particles that would be normally in your shop vac are dropped into the 5-gallon bucket. and all the fine particles are brought into your shop vac. So you spend a lot less time worrying about trying to, replace those bags in your shop vac, because that can become timely and expensive very quickly.
Well, you know what? It's funny. I have a huge dust collection system in my shop, but I need to pipe the shop to hook up the system. And so I'm bad about that too, folks. Sometimes I get the compressor out and just blow, I do it myself.
Leaf
We've all
blower.
done it.
Okay.
We've all done it.
All right, here we go. Leslie has this question. She says, if you're working on several projects in one room, I'm working on my bathroom right now. How do you decide what order to do them in? For example, painting, tiling, etc. Well, I'm going to throw that out to either Brent or Mitch. Who would like to take that one?
Mitch, you want to take that one?
Okay, so as a contractor that did a lot of bathroom remodeling, I had to, okay, you're the homeowner doing it. As a contractor, I had to make sure that it was all about time and money, right? We had to make sure that we weren't doing anything that would cost us more time. But as somebody that's doing it yourself, you want to make sure you're not going to do a project that's going to interfere with the next. So going through in a bathroom, this is an extreme example. Before you do anything, and painting it first, not going to work, because you're going to be demoing, you're going to be hitting the walls, scratching it. So it basically comes down to, I always went with the hardcore stuff first. Okay, so let's say you're bringing out vanity, you're going to replace that. You're going to put in a new shower. You're going to do that hardcore stuff first. Then work your way back to, for me, painting was always the last thing I did. Because what I could do is I could show the customer, or you as the homeowner, everything's there. And then one day they come home from work and we just painted that thing and it looks beautiful. So painting is the last thing I always did. Unless, let's say you're doing a tile backsplash. What's going to happen is, if you don't just paint around the edge first, you're going to tile, and then you're going to take that brush and you're going to be trying to paint up next to that tile. So a little dab of paint around that backsplash first is something you would want to do. So the order is, and you got to also understand, right now my job is a building inspector. I go around making sure contractors do what they're supposed to be doing for the city that I am doing the cosmetic stuff as you leave, as you get towards the end. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Mitch.
So true.
Okay. Melvina Jones, she asked, her husband passed away. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry for your loss. She needs to know how to paint the inside of my house and need information about getting new kitchen cabinets installed. Really don't know where and how to begin. So I'm going to say a couple things, and then everybody else can chime in as well. What I would say to you is this: most people are visual learners. And so obviously you're on YouTube, and that is really the best place to start. Find some creators that you trust and like. We have two creators here that will be extremely helpful. Do your research first. Get comfortable with using tools. When it comes to paint, it's not so much what to do as it is picking up the skills, getting comfortable using a brush. You can know what to do and what paint to use. But if you're not experienced with actually painting, it doesn't take much to do. Folks, I'm so sorry. My dog, he is not happy right now.
Pay attention to me.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just step away for a quick second. Brent and Mitch, why don't you continue to chime in about what you think the Melvina should be doing to get herself prepared for making home repairs?
Yeah, well, it seems specifically in mind was painting, and painting is very important, especially with the fact that you can completely transform a space with just paint, and you can make it look much newer than it is with something that's fairly inexpensive. So just having a good quality brush, a good quality roller, and taking your time is the most important thing, because the time factor is really the aspect of it. In painting, in all honesty, especially good painting, is time consuming, especially if you're doing it by hand. So just keep that in mind, but take your time. You can also use a sprayer, but obviously that's a little bit more advanced. However, that does make life a little bit easier other than the prep. It's all about the prep if you're going to use a sprayer, but it does make life a lot easier in the end.
Yeah. If I could just touch on what Brent just said also about getting a good quality brush. I can't express enough how also, let's say you're going to roll the walls. Don't buy the cheap packs of roller covers. Okay. You're going to spend more time picking lint off your walls after you paint. And I know people think, oh, it's so much easier to clean up. You can just throw them out afterwards. Maybe if you're doing the smallest little job, you can use a disposable. But if you get a good quality nap cover or nap, right, for your roller, and you wash it out after every paint job, it will last you the whole house. I have used good quality brushes and everything and painted multiple houses with them. So they are worth more than their weight in gold. I just promise you that. And another thing is, you're going to start painting. You're going to start second guessing yourself. Don't do that. Just keep going. Here's the thing. By the time you're done, you will be a professional painter. Okay. So, and if you want to go back, touch it up, change it, you're a professional painter now. You'll be good at it. So good luck.
Go bold sometimes. I mean, I have a black brick wall now because I decided to have a black painted wall. Why not?
Yep.
Okay, Mari wants to know, is it okay to use Luan as a subfloor over laminate? I want to put vinyl over it. Laminate is heavily damaged but level. So here's the thing. I really encourage people to remove the old flooring before they install anything new. But there are those circumstances when it's all right to put lawn ply over an existing floor. Some of those circumstances would be some of the older flooring has asbestos in it, and it's sometimes better just to leave that stuff undisturbed and then apply Luan ply on top and then go ahead and put the new flooring down. For your particular situation, it sounds like maybe you just don't want to take the time to remove the existing flooring. If it's damaged, you don't want to pull it up. Let me put that question back up on the screen so I can take another look at it. Okay, so the subfloor, Luan is a subfloor over laminate. The one thing that you have to keep in mind is this. Every time you raise the floor, you have to make adjustments to your doors, okay? So if that's not the situation, I really wouldn't see anything wrong with it. But again, I'm not there, and I'm just giving you advice remotely about your particular situation. You have to really decide what's best for you. Brent or Mitch, do you have anything that you'd like to add to that?
I personally would always rip out and remove the existing. It's one of those things where, yeah, you don't want to do it. Yeah, it might have some effort, but in all honesty, demo is probably the quickest portion of any project, at least personally for me, especially when it comes time for flooring. I mean, I can demo out 1,000 square feet of flooring within half a day or a full day. That flooring is going to take days to install. So you really don't save, it really doesn't cost you a lot of time as far as removing it, but it will save you a lot in the long run when you're thinking about, that unevenness. You never really know if there's going to be a failure underneath the new flooring because that old flooring is older, and I'm sure it's years older. So if there is a failure, you're going through 2 layers, not just one.
If I could say, where Leah and Brent live, there's a lot of moisture. Okay, so everything up in Oregon and Washington where they're at has to do with moisture, and they have crawl spaces normally in a lot of the houses up there. So removing the old flooring, I can kind of see what they're saying is there's wood under there and stuff. Where I live down here in Southern California, we have slabs all over. Putting Luan down is not an option. You have to bring it up. Have I put Luan down before, that 1/4 inch? I have, and there was a reason for it. But like Brent said, and like Leah said, take the time, go ahead and try to get it. If you can get a good scraper with a good blade on it, you'll be shocked at how easy you actually could get that flooring up. And it's nothing that I know anybody can't handle. And like Brent just said, if there is failure, then you're going to have to eventually do it the other way anyways. If moisture gets under that Lawan, now I know Lawan is waterproof, but if moisture gets underneath, you're going to get bubbling. You're going to have a problem. So it'll be one of those things where you'll kick yourself maybe a year down the line and go, I wish I'd have done it the other way. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Because sometimes the easiest way is not the best way, folks, you know? That's what it really boils down to.
I wish. Yeah, sometimes.
I know.
Okay, Camille wants to know, Leah, you're looking uncomfortable. Are you okay? I'm fine. You have to understand that I'm working the board as well as talking. And so a lot of times I'm looking off and I'm reading comments, looking for questions. And so that's what you may be wondering about. No,
I got a good question here, specifically, obviously, because it's directed towards me. And he says, Brent, my driveway goes down towards my garage. I saw that you put in a drain to capture it. What did you have to do? And yes, this is something that anyone and everyone that has a driveway that goes down, especially in rainy climates, you're going to have an issue with drainage. And I personally have had and dealt with this issue for a number of years, and it's still not quite perfect. But I did attach, so there's a drain, a long, narrow drain all the way across my driveway at the very bottom. And I actually attached that to a sump pump. And that sump pump kicks on if that drain starts overflowing. And I did make a YouTube video about it. So if Richard, if you want to see what I did to help my situation, check out that YouTube video, because I think I did it about 2 years ago now, and it's definitely saved me a number of times. It's not always perfect, but it's helped me quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, can I just encourage you, if you're just joining the live stream, I want to remind people that the drawing for the welder comes at the end. You have to comment. You have to be present if we select your name. A name is going to be selected randomly by Brent at the very end, but you got to get a comment in. It doesn't have to be a question. You can just say, hi, I'm here, and that's good enough. Brent is going to do last call 5 minutes before we go to the drawing, so just be mindful of that. If you haven't commented, do it now. Now would be a good time. If you have a question about a home repair or a woodworking project that you're working on, you'd like to ask myself or Brent or Mitch, feel free to do so. All I have to ask you is to please put hashtag question in front of your question so we can distinguish between questions and just talk in the room, because sometimes it's very, very difficult to see what's going on there. It looks like we have a question. Oh, okay. So I want to elevate a desk with fancy legs. My other furniture, I built platforms, but don't know this would look good with this. Thinking of making U-shaped wheeled platform suggestions. Well, they do make furniture lifts. Have you considered that? They're just small cups that fit beneath the legs of whatever it is that you're raising. And I've used them before. So that's an option. I don't know if you've used those before or not, but that's an option for you if you don't want to do something more permanent. It'll give you the ability to move that desk, to any location in the room. Does anybody else have any comments about that?
Mitch,
No?
do you have anything?
No, I got a question. Leah, can I go back to a previous question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Leah, on the tile backsplash, you mentioned that you had used the mesh also.
Yes,
That is something I never have done. I've only used thin set and I've only used adhesive. What did you think about that?
I thought it was very, very easy. I thought it was easy.
Okay.
but it was for a very small section above a bathroom. And I'll tell you, the video was titled "How to Remodel Your Bathroom in 4 Hours." So that was just a solution to to someone that doesn't have a lot of time. And I saw that those kind of backsplashes had become very, very popular. And I wanted to know if it was something that I would recommend or not. And what I will say is, ideally, I wouldn't go that route. Ideally, I would go with something more established. It's something that isn't like new like that on the market, but I did want to try it. So it was easy. It was easy to do, but I don't think that I would do that for, I don't think that I would use that product again. So.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, let's see what else we have, folks. Feel free to ask questions. I'm going through the questions now. If I've missed it, I'm so sorry. Okay. Not a question. I just wanted to say, this is not a question here, but she says she just wanted to thank everybody for their support. So,
you know what? There was also a second part to her question about the kitchen cabinets, getting them installed.
You remember what the specific question was?
I think it was just getting them installed. How should she go about finding them or getting them installed? Anything like that?
Well, what I will say is I did a cabinet series on cabinets.com. They're a great product. They're an excellent product. They're made here in the United States. They come already built. They're not a flat pack where you have to put the pieces together yourself. They're very helpful there at that particular website, helping you figure out what you need. But I would just strongly suggest that you watch the videos, because I go through all the different kinds of cabinets that are available out there, the flat pack, whether or not you're going to go with something that is already put together, whether or not you're going to do solid wood, plywood, or particle board cabinets. That's what I would strongly suggest. That cabinet series that I did on YouTube will probably answer a lot of your questions.
That's good to know. So check that one out.
Okay, let's see what we have here. This is a question. I love the small series you did on tool rust removal. Are you planning to do more similar shows on this? Well, there are a lot of different ways to remove rust, and I think I've done 4 or 5 different videos on rust removal. I did the electrolysis. That may be the one that you're thinking about, but I've also shown how to use certain chemicals like navel jelly. That's something people don't even use anymore, navel jelly to remove rust. And I think that there were other products that came out. There are a lot of products where you just you soak whatever it is that you're trying to remove rust from. But they can be kind of costly. And that's why I decided to do the electrolysis, because you can remove rust from enormous objects just with a car battery and the proper, I think it's just water. And you just have to have a setup, and it's inexpensive. I've done that video, but I don't know if I have other rust removal videos in the future, because I think I've covered them all. I don't know, maybe Mitch or Brent have something coming up.
I do not, as far as rust, although I probably should, since rust removal videos and restoration videos are huge right now. So
yeah. Hey, I got to tell you, everybody gets a tool that gets rusted. There's no way to avoid it. So yeah, they're great videos, especially check out Leah's videos on them. I remember one time I got a comment. I was using a rusty tool on a video one time, and somebody said, "I could tell by your tools you don't know what you're doing." And I'm like, wait a minute. The rustier, the more I know what I'm talking about. So
that's good. I like that.
Trust me, especially, you know what I love? I love running into contractors or other people in the trades, and they bring out this tool, and I'm like, how old is that tool? And you know what they say? That was my grandfather's, or that was my dad's, and they're still using it. I'm telling you, learn to restore them, because some of the tools that were made back then last more than one lifetime. So yeah, so we'll probably try to get some videos up on tool restoration. It'll be
I have
awesome.
a lot of those tools. I have a lot of tools from my grandfather and from my father.
Oh
I
man,
prefer to use those. So yeah, I'm right there with you.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got a question about Shiplap, and they want to know that they've done a Shiplap project and they had to stop when they got up to the fireplace. How do I get around it? And then should I try it and take the mantle off? No, I wouldn't take the mantle off. I don't think it's even necessary to do that. But I guess my question is, have you scribed? Why aren't you scribing? Because it'll bring you right up to the mantle, unless I don't understand your question. But that's what's generally done. I have some videos on scribing as well. Is there anything else, Mitch or Brent, would you like to comment on that?
Well, there is a device that you see in the tile areas that people use all the time at Home Depot. It's actually like this basically 1 foot long piece, and it has just a lot of pieces along the way, and you can literally just push it up against your fireplace, and it actually creates the exact image of the arrangement of the brick. So you're able to take that arrangement, place it onto your shiplap, and literally just trace out exactly what the shape should be. And that's
that's a solution. A contour gauge, folks, is what you're going to look for.
That's the name.
Okay. All right.
Here, I got a fun question for you both. Who are your remodeling heroes or role models?
Leah, can I go first on this?
You go on. You go.
Because
you
we are going to want to hear Leah's answer last, because that's the one that's going to stick with everybody, because I already kind of know the answer to this. First of all, besides the two people that are already on the screen, who are your home remodeling heroes and role models? Okay, I'd like to go back to my grandfather. When he first moved to the deserts of California, he was a young man, just got married, took old Route 66, took 3 days to get from Oklahoma, got over to the deserts in California, and he had to build a house. But where do you get lumber? You're in this little desert town of 500 people. So they went out and found some old barracks at I believe it was at Edwards Air Force Base. And back then, security was a lot different, right? So they took the old barracks apart, took all the wood, pulled all the nails, and he went and built his family their first house. And I remember watching him one time build a huge shed in my backyard when I was a kid. And when I got home from school that day, it was done. And I'm like, how does Grandpa know how to do that? So it was amazing, because that's what almost everybody had to know and do back then. And I've always thought he was my hero. When I one time was framing a huge garage one time, and I remember at the end of the day going, my grandpa would have had this done by now. So that was my hero. Yeah, he was just amazing. Yep.
That's awesome. Leah?
Brent, so what about
Are you going to go with me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, in all honesty, I didn't have too many remodeling heroes personally in my life. Obviously, my dad, he was definitely the handiest one out of everyone, and I definitely learned quite a bit from him, which is amazing. But if I'm thinking about actual people that people actually know, I would say like Mike Holmes. I remember watching him when I was super young, and he had some show on TV that I started watching that I became obsessed with for a little while. And I think that was kind of the first individual that I personally knew that was in that construction-minded remodeling space. That I don't know if he's the ultimate guru, but personally that was definitely the person that I knew from the very beginning of this whole construction remodeling journey on TV and YouTube.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the thing. I don't think that the people that I admire and have been heroes in my life have been the folks that I've worked with in the trades. And so the one that I think of most of all is a guy named Ted Mack. He was the head carpenter many, many, many years ago when I worked in the field. And I got to tell you, that guy was just as salty as he could be. But he taught me so much, things that, at the time I didn't realize how important it was. He was not only just a gifted carpenter, but he was a furniture maker as well. And at that time in my career, we're talking, not that long ago. I don't want to give away my age, but we're talking a while back. And he knew things about French polish. You don't even hear people talking about French polish nowadays. So I feel really, really fortunate to not have only learned a lot of the carpentry skills I have today from Ted Mack, but also a lot of the furniture making things that folks they're just not doing anymore, like a French polish. And then when you're working in the field and you're working in construction, especially if you're coming up through an apprenticeship program where you have journeymen that you're working next to, so those journeymen in the trades, if you're an apprentice, it's their job to really inform you about the best way to do things. So the folks that I have admired have been the men and women that I've worked with, and those that passed on a lot of their knowledge to me. And that's what's given me the ability to pass on what I know with all of you. So I'm very, very thankful that I've had some really terrific mentors in my life. So let's do this. It's getting really close to last call. I'm going to take one last question here before we go to last call. Somebody wants to know about the recommendations on stud finders. I have a 45-year-old home. The walls are a little thicker and the stud locations are odd. Well, you really need a deep scan. That's for certain. You need a deep scan stud finder. They're a little pricey, but it'll be well worth it. Then they have something out called the Wallbot. I haven't used it yet. I am interested in purchasing I think you use your phone. You download it on your phone, I believe. But I haven't had an opportunity to try it. Maybe you can investigate that, but you need a deep scan. Brent or Mitch, do you have anything that you would like to say about Stud Finder?
In all honesty, there's so many technology aspects that are coming out of play, and some of them are amazing. But sometimes my favorite stud finder is literally a very strong magnet. And normally, it's doesn't always work, because sometimes you have certain circumstances that you just can't find a screw head. But lo and behold, a very strong magnet can pinpoint where your screws are, and therefore you know exactly where those stud locations are, and make life a lot easier, as well as a little bit cheaper in the long run.
Well, that's true. I mean, those rare earth magnet stud finders are good. Okay, so Brent, what do you want to say about last call, Brent?
Last call. I can't believe it's already been an hour. How has it already been an hour? That's crazy. But yes, last call, happy hour. So today we are giving away a welder. Yes, thanks to Leah, we are giving away a welder. And as of right now, we are having a 5-minute shot clock for the happy hour special. So if you're interested in a welder, please leave a comment in the description box below or in the comment section right now. And within the next 5 minutes, we're going to do a random giveaway, and we will be giving away that welder at the end. So, have any questions, Leah?
Do I have any questions about? I'm sorry, I was looking at the questions.
No, you're
any
fine.
Questions about the giveaway?
Yeah.
No, I think you've said everything. I hope you
so
did.
too.
All right, folks. So you just got to get that comment in, or a question, or just say where you're from. It's all good. I want to also remind people that you can find Mitch Couch on YouTube on his. Is it Mitch Couch? Is it Mitch Couch?
Yes, Mitch Couch. Yep.
And,
Mitch Couch, Mitchell Couch. You'll see me there.
And you can also find him on TikTok at Goodly Earth. Correct? Okay.
Yes, thank you. Yep,
All
and
right.
Instagram at Goodly Earth also.
And Brent, where's the best place to find you, Brent?
So I do have all of Mitch's links in the description of this video. So if you do want to check them out, please check out those links below. I have all of my links as well. And on a side note, especially to all the followers that follow BYOT, again, if you weren't with us at the very beginning, we just hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is amazing. It's been a 5.5-year journey, and it's been truly a pleasure to be on an amazing platform like YouTube and be able to help others out there, because that's my true passion in life, is trying to help others learn how to build and create. And to say thank you, I am doing a big giveaway next week, or at least I'm going to be presenting the prizes that will be given away. So if you do want to be a part of the giveaway, there is my website, and all I have to do is enter into my email list. Enter in my email list, you're automatically entered into the ability to win the prizes, and one of them will be handmade by yours truly. So if you want a very nice walnut coffee table, which will be given away.
Can I enter?
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I'm gonna make up a fake name.
Yeah. You can both enter. I'm not gonna say if you can win, but you both can totally enter.
Okay, folks, listen, this is what we're gonna do. You know what? Somebody tune in, drop out. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I wasn't really expecting that, but thank you. Let's do this, folks. Let's take 2 more questions, and then that'll give people a little time to get their comments up, so you'll be in the drawing for the and it's totally random, folks. Brent is just gonna select somebody randomly from the comments on the side of your screen. We're going to take 2 more questions, and then that'll be it. Brent's going to tell us who the big winner is. So looks like Pudding has a question about how can I easily cover up a popcorn ceiling. And now, of course, there are a couple ways you can go. You can remove the old popcorn, but of course, folks are concerned about asbestos, and they should be. So you might want to have it tested if you go that route. What I will tell you is, if the popcorn hasn't been painted, it's easily removed. I mean, it just comes off with water and a good mud knife. But again, it's the testing of it. Now, I've done that here in my own home. I tested the popcorn, and I sent it to a lab, and it turned out that it didn't have asbestos. But I would really encourage you to have the test done. You can look up online for a testing lab in your community. It's inexpensive, doesn't cost much. And you can also go online. I suggest that you go check out the video on how to remove popcorn ceiling, because it'll tell you everything you need to know in terms of where to find the information you need to safely remove popcorn before you take it to a lab. Now, if you decide that you don't want to go that route, maybe the popcorn has been painted, and that is a challenge in itself, because once you paint a popcorn ceiling, forget about removing it by misting it down. It cannot be done.
That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Maybe you just don't want to be bothered with the removal. You would rather encapsulate it, okay, especially if it has asbestos in it. So my suggestion to you is you can do a skim coat. I've done many skim coats on popcorn ceilings where that wasn't an option, where removal wasn't an option. So you can skim it out with joint compound. It's going to take you a while. You can use a premixed joint compound. It doesn't have to be a setting type joint compound, just a premixed joint compound. And remember that joint compound has adhesives in it, so it's going to bond to what you put it on. Now, if it's something that if you intend on plastering, now we're talking about totally different skill level here. If you're not going to go with joint compound and you're going to try to plaster over the popcorn ceiling, then you're going to have to use a bonder, because plaster doesn't have an adhesive in it. You're going to have to apply a bonder to that ceiling before you plaster it. So the choice is really yours of how you go about it, and hopefully I've been helpful with that. Does anyone else have any suggestions about popcorn ceiling?
I have removed many popcorn ceilings. When people would call me for a bid on doing popcorn ceilings, I almost didn't want to even pull up in the driveway because it could be, it's a tedious task. If you're able to mist it, like Leah said, it's about the prep. Lay down all the plastic you can to collect it, do everything you can. But like Leah said, if it's painted over and it's got multiple layers of paint, let's say people just keep painting, that latex is going to keep any water from getting back there. So my thoughts are exactly doing that. Use a joint compound, even if it takes a couple of layers, real thin, just get it up there, smooth it out. Go ahead and add a texture, maybe a knockdown texture, and it'll look good.
Knockdown, yeah. Okay, folks, this is the last question of the night, and I want to give the honors to my guest here, Mitch Couch. Wolf would like to know what is the best wood to use for replacing a wood fence. I'm thinking cedar, but he or she is not certain.
Okay. Well, when it comes to wood fences, basically the market or the home improvement stores or the lumber yards are going to tell you what the best one is. Where Brent and Leah live, you're going to see a lot of cedar. Do you guys see any redwood up in your area for fencing?
Not much.
No, I don't see it. I love it, though. I think it's...
Yes, it's beautiful. Where I'm at, you can only get redwood. It's because of the UV lights from all the sun in Southern California. You're not going to see cedar down here. So basically, if you have cedar up there, I would use cedar. Redwood is a little bit of a heavier wood. It does last a little bit longer, and it's a little bit stronger. If you get up into the Northern California area, they're probably going to give you a choice of both. And the price is kind of around the same area, around the same range there. Redwood's a little bit pricier. A lot of people are like, redwood? That means you're chopping down redwood forest. No, there's a lot of forest out there that's redwood that's growing, and they mill it down and they bring in new redwoods. So it depends on your area. But again, the lumber yard is basically going to tell you what the best wood is for, because that's the wood that everybody's buying. It's the best for your climate. So again, Pacific Northwest, you're going to see a lot of cedar. Where I'm at, it's all redwood.
Okay. Thanks, Mitch. Okay, Brent, it's almost that time, but I just want to say I want to welcome our guests that came on the show today. Brent, it's always nice to see you. It's nice to see you, Mitch. And I want to thank folks for tuning in. I know that I've been away for a while, and it just was something that could not be avoided. I'm going to continue to make YouTube videos, and I'm going to continue to make TikToks. So you can catch me on TikTok under DIY Beginners. That's my TikTok channel. And of course, it's seejanedrill YouTube. And I'm going to start uploading more and more videos as we get into the year. So I'm back. And I'm glad to see you guys. I've missed you all. So, Brent, what do we got here? What do we got? Who's the winner, Brent?
Well, real quick, before we get to the winner, I just wanted to personally say, Leah, thank you. It's been an amazing journey, and I really appreciate your time and energy. And, to all those people that are wondering, I wonder what Leah's really like in person. I can tell you personally, she's better than you think. Like, she's literally better than you think. She's an amazing person inside and out. And
thank you so much.
I know what she's gone through this last year. It's been very difficult to see, but I truly appreciate our friendship together. So thank you, Leah. And I'm so glad that you're back.
Oh, thanks, Brent. That's so nice of you to say. So, Brent, who's it going to be? Who's the big winner, buddy?
Who's the big winner is Shay Lanthor. And please email me at brent@byotools.me. So please email me. I will make sure and get your information on where we can ship this amazing welder from Leah. So please do so, and I will make sure you get your amazing happy hour gift.
I want to say congratulations to you. And I also have a welding series coming up. I was going to do it last year, but I'm going to do a welding series this year. So hopefully, if you don't know how to use a welder, No, just watch the series that's coming up in the next few months. Okay. Again, everybody, check out Brent's channel at BYO, Bring Your Own Tools. And of course, you can find Mitch on TikTok under Goodly Earth and Mitch Couch at YouTube. So thanks again, guys. And everybody, I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
See ya.